some money, get 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 some money.
Today.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. As Seattle's offense comes onto the field, we'll see a 10-year veteran under center. Guy who broke into the league as a starter back in 2013, Geno Smith.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about it being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give them the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 14 carries, 61 yards.
Brandon, we both know plenty about this game, but you don't have to be an expert to figure out that they're going to lean heavily on their ground game to try and win this week. He sits number 5 in the league so far in rushing, and when they've had success on that side of the ball, he's been at the center of it. If they want to win in this one, he's going to have to play like that and help drive them down the field.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. This is Carson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. The Seahawks at 10-4 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 1st and 10, Smith. He'll find his man. That's Freddie Swain. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Seahawks. Freddie Swain, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking 1 drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they liked, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. Time to get our first look at one of the star faces of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes and his Kansas City offense. Really the gold standard among NFL offenses since he became the starter in 2018. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Slant route, that's complete. 9 to the 46. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Mahomes. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Mahomes going to throw. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7. So that one a long 11-play drive. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 68 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Second down won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. Loose inside the 30, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. On 1st down, Smith. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Freddie Swain. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes.
A pass complete downfield. It's Valdez-Scantling.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Chiefs get a bit closer.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
No.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Geno. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 28 yards.
And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half.
And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes.
Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw complete there to Smith-Schuster.
And out across midfield down to the 45. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve.
As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 34-yard line. 2 catches in the 1st half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelsey, 34 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to cut into that deficit.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
He lets it fly for Lockett. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. Touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 79 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half is getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Out of the end zone comes McKinnon.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Smith. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant with his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his second touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
From the 29, Mahomes got an open man. It's Valdez-Yard connection there. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They fake the give. Now Mahomes on the move to his left.
Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end Gray.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
43 yards on the ground for him so far.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Mahomes. That ball is, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Carson.
And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes.
And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Completes it to Hardman.
And Mahomes finding his burner, Hardman, for the KC first.
Mahomes now to throw.
Well, quickly to Kelsey.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Mahomes firing complete, and they're going to get this up to midfield.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Let's go, D. Big series right here, so we got to step it up. Check, 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 check.
Mahomes going to leave it with Edwards-Helaire on the draw. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 61 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw.
And hitting Juju on the slant. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On play action, it's Mahomes. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this.
Great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now it's Carson. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. We'll get this up to about the 44.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it with Carson. Gets past one man. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down,
He's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh?